Hi guys, and welcome to Berke Creations Podcast. This is my knitting podcast from Transylvania. My name is Jofi and today I am recording episode 14. Welcome newcomers, thank you for being here. It's been a while and all the gardening and all the work that I need to do around the house, in the garden, it's just totally interfered with my knitting and my podcasting. I also failed to do one of the lovely test knits to finish it, and then I just was so stressed that I just couldn't record. So finally now here I am, and it's so good to be back. So big warm welcome, and let's get to the knitting very quickly. The first finished object I am wearing right now, it's a warmer sweater and it's the Kuutar pullover designed by Sari Nordlund, and she had a call for it and I just finished right on time, just one day before the end of the call, and that was great. It's kind of like an achievement, so to make it to the deadline, because as I said, I did not make it to the deadline with another project, and I was pretty sad about it, but let's just be happy for what we have. And so, as I said, this is the Kuutar and by Sari Nordlund, and it has a beautiful lace pattern yoke inspired by the Japanese stitch Bible that is also reflected on the cuffs, and I think it's turned out beautifully. I used fingering weight yarn held together with mohair, so this whole jumper knits up on a DK weight, and so it went pretty fast except the yoke, because for the yoke I needed to pay attention. So Japanese stitches, it's like nothing in the technique, it was nothing new, and no crazy stitches or crazy techniques involved, but all the pattern and the chart, it was so unexpected. Like every new row, it was such unexpected things were happening all the time that it was not intuitive at all. That's what I mean. So I really had to focus on paying attention and not make mistakes, and it's kind of like every new row something new is going on. So yeah, it takes a little bit more mental energy, but that's fine. So overall I am very happy with it. I really love this neckline, this kind of turtleneck with twisted stitches, twisted ribbing, and that twisted ribbing, and it's also on the cuffs, and I think it looks great. And overall this yoke just looks really great. Sorry if my chair is squeaking. So today I am actually in our homestead, in our half-finished house. We are making progress on it. We still need to paint the walls, and then we will move in. So that's gonna happen like in the next 2 weeks, pretty soon. So yes, and otherwise I'd like to mention that I do have another channel, Berke Homestead channel, where I document monthly what's happening in the garden and what I'm doing in the garden. And if you are interested, you are welcome to visit there. I will have the link down below. Because I'm just so excited about my flowers. I have here a lupine. Lupines are started to bloom now, and I got some ranunculuses in the garden that are budding up, and the blooms soon will be opening. And my point here being, on the last episode I asked you guys if I should cast on a ranunculus, and 100% everybody said yes, do that, and everybody seems to be so happy with their ranunculus project. And some people really just making one for each season, like Nikki of the Knitting with Cathair. She wants to do one for every season, and I think that's such a great idea. If I will like that pattern the same way like everybody does, I will definitely do that. So, but because of all this craze about it, I decided I will have also one ranunculus. And yeah, by the time my ranunculuses in the garden are blooming, I hope I will cast on mine. So if you want to see the flowers, the actual flowers, then you are welcome to visit my other channel. These flowers really love the cold, so start of the summer is pretty cold, even now, so that I am wearing this mohair sweater. It's really fine here inside the house because it's not having such a heat wave yet. And a lot of raining, and every day just on and off raining all day with sunshine. So yeah, a lot to do in the garden, a lot of weeds popping up. So the second subject for what I wanted to mention, it was the ranunculus, and yes, I am making one. I'm very happy about that. And the color, yes, the color is very important because I was so inspired by this beautiful yellow that I saw some of the fellow podcasters cast on in this beautiful yellow. Their ranunculuses, like I think Inga from the Knitting Traditions, she has the yellow one. It's like beautiful, sunny, bright yellow. And also Liz from Pyramid Dyeworks podcast. So Pyramid Knits and Pyramid Dyeworks, she's also a yarn dyer. And she cast on like a beautiful sun gold yellow, and she dyed herself that yarn with I think naturally with onion skins. So hers is like completely blown me away. So I am actually falling in line with the yellow ranunculus. And oh my god, yeah, the crazy. I was thinking that maybe I have this one actual flower in the garden, ranunculus, that was the first one that it was budding up, and now I can see what color the flower actually will be, and it's yellow. So definitely this is like a sign I'm gonna have the yellow ranunculus, and I have some wool mohair blend yarn for that. I just don't have it here with me, sorry, but next time you will see. So, and other than that, I also did a cast-on party. Between all this craziness and all this lot of things to do, I managed to do my cast-on party, and I casted on like, I think 7 or 8 projects. I'm not gonna show them all right now, but then I'm gonna show you one that I was excessively working on, because this is a test knit, and there's a test knit for Rachel Illsley. And I test knitted for her one jumper, the night book jumper. You can see that in my first episode actually. It was an overall colorful jumper. And now I am testing shawl, or is it a shrug? It's more like a, what do you call, wrap. So I'm testing this wrap for her, and it's called the One. And the idea behind this shawl is that you choose one skein of yarn, the one colorway that it's like very special to you, and it's variegated. It has multiple different colors in it, and you build your other colors and other yarns around it. So my version is an exception because I'm doing a monochrome version, but all the other test knitters have such beautiful colors and playing with the colors. I tried, but it didn't work out for me, and then I was like, okay, why not to do something different and just do the monochrome version. She has one too in the monochrome. So, but to explain the name, the One, so you build your color palette around one skein of yarn. So, but for me, I am only using a background color, this gray, and I'm actually using multiple grays because I want to use up my grays, my scrap of grays, yes. And so each of them a little bit differs. And then my contrasting color is just the black one. And here when I have the mosaic color work, I'm using a different kind of gray with a little bit of lyrics in it, a little bit of sparkle in it. Oh, actually this is my first time making mosaic color work. Yeah, mosaic stitches. And it's so great. It's so easy. It's incredibly easy. So making this shawl, this wrap, it's really rewarding. It has 9 different sections, and currently I passed to the middle section, which was this big one, and now I am repeating myself. So it's kind of like mirrored what happened before. It's gonna happen later. Someone said in a group, someone said they wish for a copy-paste technique in the knitting, and I found that so funny. So yes. So the one wrap, sorry, the one is designed by Rachel Illsley, and deadline is 17th of June, so after that I think soon it will be published. So I have to get ongoing on this one. I still have 3.5 more sections to finish, but yeah, I still have almost 1 week to do that. And then I actually wanted to do this for a while now. Then I have some interesting and exciting thing to show. I started to do a little bit of epoxy creations. So I created some epoxy not stitch markers but progress keepers, and I am using flowers and leaves from the garden, or yeah, just from around spring. I don't know if you can see that nicely. Some of them turned out nicely, some of them not that great. Kind of like will be, I see, a new hobby for me, but I still need to practice and do my studies on it. So excuse my fingers, this is just the gardening life. So that's why I am showing this to you, because I never had this is my first ever progress keeper. I never had one progress keeper myself, so I just want to put this one on, but probably until the next podcast I will finish this anyway. So this is one that I made for, maybe I will keep this one. I made several, maybe you want to see them? Yeah, I made a few progress keepers and really like these leaves. Yeah, some leaves, and oh yeah, this one I love absolutely. This one is just a little fig leaf, and that was like the first one. I have a fig tree, and that was coming on, and I think this is like one of the first creations that turned out pretty nice. And I have some more with yellow flowers. Yeah, I got a few, and I don't know, maybe I can make a post on Instagram, and if you're interested, I am happy to send away some of it, because for sure I don't need so much, and I would love to be making more of them. It's so rewarding to make these little markers, little leaves. Really want to capture some of the beautiful little blooms and flower parts or leaves from the garden. It's just, as I said, the technique, it's like I still do need to work on that, and some of them, yeah, some of them did not work out. Did not keep the colors. Probably my uh, substance was not that great, or maybe that's expected. I will still do my research, but if you're interested, I will post them on Instagram again, and all of them, and if you'd like to have one, you can just totally DM me, and we can figure something out. Other than that, I have a lovely, lovely, lovely yarn mail. I had it for a while now, and it's really amazing. It's from Norway. So for me, having Norwegian yarn, it was a long time a desire, and I remember, so Inga of the Knitting Traditions podcast, she had like one episode where she was showing the yarn she got in a yarn swap with someone from Canada, and it was like so beautiful, and I really enjoy to watch acquisitions, and mostly if somebody presents their yarn swap, I think it's great to see, and I did in my life a few yarn swaps, and it's really exciting. So I asked her if she wants to swap with some Transylvanian wool, because that's what I have that here, and Berke, it's the Transylvanian breed of sheep, and that's the name also of my podcast. And there are a few mills that are processing this fiber, and but it's not like in a big commercial use. So I really want to do in the future some yarn, and get some yarn to some fiber to the mill and spin it. But I'm just really curious about others, how they see this Transylvanian wool, how they feel it. So Inga of the Knitting Traditions, she has, like, you can tell, she has so much experience and knowledge about yarn, and she's really thoughtful and open to things. And so I really wanted to have her opinion about that yarn. So we decided to do a swap. So I got some of the Norwegian yarn, which is so lovely and so great. So my idea was that let's do it, we agreed, let's do it like a sweater quantity. And I just thought about Andre Mary's Wool and Honey, which is on my knitting bingo this year, and I want to cast that on. So I asked her to send me some yarn that is like a rust color and this burnt orange color, and it matches the yarn weight, that project, that Wool and Honey sweater. So she sent me this and this one is Rama Fino fingering weight yarn, and the color is just more, what was that? Oh, it doesn't say the color, just it doesn't have a name on this one, but it has a number 4121. Anyway, this is like, okay, yeah, Rama Gone Fino PT2. Can you focus? Okay, I hope you get the idea. Sorry. And it's really, it is rustic. You can see it's rustic, and it's sheepy, but it's really not scratchy for me. I mean, if I do that, I think the mohair in this one is more scratchy than this yarn. So I'm so excited to actually cast on my my Wool and Honey. That's also on my custom party list. I am also behind with my custom party. What's happening? So, and she sent me like 500 grams of this Fino PT2. And we also have like surprise skeins. So for surprise, she sent me Salmas gone, Fritid's gone, yeah, something like really chunky weight yarn, and she did her Lume socks in this one. Some really lovely home socks, house socks in this one. So she sent me some of them so I can make perhaps the same one. So that's so lovely, and thank you so much, Inga. I am really happy to have these lovely yarns. And I got a beautiful little card with all the flowers and all the bursts and everything. It was really sweet. So yeah, that's so great. And she got my package too, finally. There was some confusion on the post office, but she got my package, but she's still not in the town. She's at her cabin, so she hadn't opened it yet, and I'm like waiting every day when she's gonna write to me and say, yeah, I got the yarn and open. So yes, this is not all. I have one little thing to show you before I go, and that's a swatch. And I swatched for my Cathair Par from the Alice Starmore's Tudor Roses book, and I did my swatch for that project, that the yarn from Virtue Yarns I am sponsored with for this project. And we do have the KAL, the Tudor Roses KAL, with two other lovely podcasters, probably you already remember, with Gabriella and Bella, Meriwether Knitting and 100 Acre Wool. So I'm finally starting also that project, from my Tudor Rose book. And yeah, so this one has like really just a really simple cable design, and it's lovely. I got just a huge problem with it because my gauge, my knitting, I am such a loose knitter. So this yarn, let me find the yarn. The yarn that I'm using, it's Alice Starmore's Hebridean 3-ply yarn. It's a DK weight yarn. So you can purchase this yarn on Virtual Yarns website. I will link down below. And this is the Pebble Beach colorway, and it's such a lovely, intricate and rich colorway with more like 30 different colors inside of this, blended in, and it's like dyed in the wool, in the fiber, and then spun. So the yarn is beautiful and it's great, and this one is DK weight. And for that project, it's the gauge is so tight for me with a DK weight yarn. I feel like it's impossible to achieve the recommended gauge. I tried with the recommended needles, that was 4 millimeters. I was way off. And now I went down to 3 millimeter needles, and I did my gauge swatch with that, and it's still, I am still like 3 stitches off. And I feel like I cannot go down more on a needle size, like 3. It's like the last one that I can use for a DK weight yarn. I mean, like how it would look to make a DK weight project of 2.5 millimeter needles, like what I'm using usually for socks, or yeah, sometimes for socks, because often I use actually 2, and even that is loose. So yeah, what can I do? What can I do to make this beautiful, lovely pattern, the Cathair Par? And have actually the right size. Or sorry, I have a fly in here, and sorry if it's bothering us. So yeah, guys, what should I do? Probably I was thinking to make a size L of the garment. Probably I just have to do my math and go down on a size, like knit a size M, and just to stick with this gauge, because this is my gauge. But yeah, this is it. So that's why I haven't cast that on, because I'm still thinking on. I did several swatches to try to achieve that gauge, but I cannot, how can I say, cannot knit a whole garment with like every stitch. I have to be conscious and consciously trying to be more tight than I am usually. So yeah, and let me know your advice. I am really curious about this. So yeah, I think it's better that I go now before I will be totally annoyed about this fly, and I will go and actually do more recording in my garden. Really happy about my garden. And I will see you very soon. This is like something that I want to focus on right now, to have more recording and also more knitting. And yeah, stay tuned, because I cast on so many projects and I am documenting them, and I try to cast on every time in a new location in nature and document it. So I will have soon like a custom party compilation or a custom party video or documentary about my casting party. Caston party. Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope I could show you something new. I hope you learned something, and have a lovely, lovely, lovely summer. Enjoy yourself. Get in the garden, get outside, get in the forest. It's beautiful. Don't stay in the house like me. And yeah, tell me what you think. Tell me what you want to hear about. Tell me if you're having a ranunculus this year, if you're making a ranunculus, and just feel good. Okay, so until next time, and bye. See you.